going to turn the video on before I turn the audio on. That'll catch people out.
Why not just?
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to part...
Hello. 6.
6 of Paul's Essen diary. And by popular demand, Mark's back.
The cat ears are back, folks.
Yeah.
I felt like the British public needed cat ears again. Special mention to Paul Allwood, who came over and said hello to me when I was demoing today.
Yeah,
if you're watching, Paul, good evening.
Yeah.
Hello.
By popular demand.
Yes.
But he is the only other one from the same people behind Fantasia Games, which always confuses me when you get... It's like a Porter Games and Chili Fox Games.
Right.
It's the same people.
Yeah, that is confusing.
But they've got two different publishers. Maybe it's money laundering.
Maybe tax.
Yeah.
Tax reasons.
That might be what it is.
I don't know.
I am not accusing publishers who I work with of money laundering.
Any tax specialists out there?
Just so you know.
Just type in the chat, let us know.
So yeah, a group of people downstairs are playing Sweet Mess, and there's various cream and cherry jokes going on,
yeah.
I believe, because Jill's playing. So
and Luke.
And Luke. So
Yeah.
it's an X-rated game.
And in fairness to Jill, I think Luke is driving the cherry and cream jokes.
Right.
So yeah, beers are being drunk.
Yeah. And also Isaac Childress offered to come over and teach us how to play Age of Innovation. So Isaac is downstairs with Joe, Steve and Dan. They're playing Age of Innovation. I would have played it, except there's no way that I knew the game was going to finish before I had to do the live stream. And I don't think that my brain was in a good enough state for it, because it is Terra Mystica 2.0. It's Terra Mystica with extra stuff added to it. Everything that I heard from Isaac's explanation of the rules was like, yeah, this sounds exactly like Terra Mystica, but that's different, that's different, that's different. So it definitely shares a lot of similarities with it.
Yeah. So Isaac Childress, he's a games designer, is he?
I think he's done. I think he did like a small filler game a few years ago.
Like a party game.
I think it was a party game.
Yeah.
In a small box.
Wow.
Didn't do very well on Kickstarter.
No. Oh well.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure as long as he's happy, it's all good.
So the reason why I decided to have guests on the show for these things, let's just turn it around a bit, was because I don't get to play any games at the show, and I've not played any games today or this evening, is I have a guest on who tells me about all of the games that they've played today.
No, wrong hand. Hello, I'm a guest.
And you've played today?
I have played no games today.
There you go.
Yes. In mitigating circumstances, I demoed again for Mighty Boards today, and I've demoed all day.
And you've been demoing not just one game, you've been demoing Hamlet.
Hamlet as well. So Excavation Earth again, which I taught a lot today, and also some Hamlet, because the other Hamlet tutor was away. So I picked up that and had a mad look through the rulebook, because it's been about a year since I played it.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So I've been doing that all day, and then I helped them tear the stand down as well, which was some hard graft.
Yeah, I used to have to do that, but I don't now.
No, well, you're very lucky. You're very lucky. Yeah. So I pitched in and sort of regretted it, but they needed the help. So,
they needed the help.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good. And then I did the McDonald's run tonight and got back, and everybody started playing again.
Everybody's playing games
without me.
So one question: you've been to Essen before?
Yes, last year.
You've worked at booths before?
I have. Yes.
At Essen?
No, first time.
Right.
First time working.
So
at Essen.
You've never been at Essen at 6 p.m. on a Sunday before?
No. I got kicked out last time because I didn't have the exhibitor ticket.
So what happens at Essen on the closing time at the last day, and it also happens at Gen Con, I think, is there's just everybody, all the exhibitors just start clapping.
Yeah. Big
and
round of applause.
Yeah, big round of applause, because everybody's been through 4 days of just hectic, non-stop, tired, worn out.
Yeah.
And it's just a really nice, hundreds of people just clapping in halls just to, we did it. But, that's another one, kind of a celebration that it's done, it's over. And then I go home and everybody tears down the booth. So that it's just a nice thing, because last year we left on the Sunday, and I didn't like leaving on the Sunday.
No.
We had to rush around and quickly say goodbye to people, and then rush to get to the tunnel in time.
Yeah. Okay. So you drove back on the Sunday.
Luke drove us back on the Sunday.
Okay.
And we had a sort of early evening tunnel home, whereas this time it's tomorrow. So 1:30. So we're going to have a rush tomorrow morning, but it will be a rush to get breakfast, pack, and leave, which is better.
So I'll tell you something. Having worked on the Mighty Board stand for 3 days out of 4.
Yeah.
I've watched the people that run the company. So the marketing manager, Evelyn, and then the owners of the company,
David,
the designers, and Gordon. I've watched them, and they have just been non-stop all the time because they've just got a queue of people coming to see them. They have meetings all day.
Yeah.
They have content creators coming to see them.
Yeah.
They have people who make
designers, pitching games to them.
Yeah. They have what's the word I'm looking for? Like the people who fabricate the games, the manufacturers.
Oh yeah.
They get them coming and handing out gift bags and saying, would you like us to make your next game or whatever? And they are just Plus they're trying to sell the product as well. So they've got Mighty Boards had stock of all their games, so they were trying to sell those to people and handle all the queries and then they've got Fate Forge that's on like Kickstarter pre-order sort of thing. So they're getting queries about that. So it's just and all I had to do was stand there and go, move this piece here, play this card here. So I kind of had it easy. So respect.
So in the chat we've got Mark from Ninja Geek Games who is back. Presumably because Mark was here Friday and Saturday. So and JP's in the chat as well.
So I met the guy from Ninja Geek Games on Friday.
Okay.
He was playing a game with his friend and we had a little chat. And then he was playing, I think, the White Castle on Saturday, which looks really amazing on the table. So
that's one that everybody I know that's played it has said it's great. So JP's home. He said so Galactic Cruise. Galactic Cruise is the big game from new designers, artwork by Ian O'Toole. Dranda Games have had it here at Essen. They are going to be, I think, the UK partners for distributing the game or something like that. And TK, one of the designers, has been in the chat saying, has anybody played Galactic Cruise yet? I can now confirm that a number of people that I know have played Galactic Cruise and have said it is very, very good. They have said it is very Lacerda-like. And the artwork and all of the graphic design is by Ian O'Toole. So I think if you looked at it and you played it and you didn't know that it wasn't a Lacerda game, you might feel that it is.
Wow. I mean, that's a big compliment, right? To
for
say
first-time designers.
Lacerda-like. That's like, being told you play football like Pele, I guess.
Yeah.
But
JP says it's more accessible.
Wow.
So it looks like a Lacerda, it feels like a Lacerda, but more accessible might be, it is a good thing because accessibility to games is a good thing. And even though I'm a friend of Vittel, his games are quite heavy. And there are a number of people that I know that would never be able to play one of his games because it's just too much. So if this is more accessible, then
happy days.
Happy days. So I like I've said in previous ones, I'm not playing that yet because I'm going to be doing a bit of rulebook consultancy on it. So I need to not really know much about the game other than it was good.
So Ian O'Toole,
Sir Ian O'Toole.
He draws things.
He does doodles.
Doodles.
Okay. Yeah, he just doodles on a piece of paper.
Has he done? He's maybe done one game.
I think he's done one game. Yeah. Okay. I got a message from Ian O'Toole today. He said, "Hi Paul, I don't suppose you're going to be anywhere near Fitzpatrick's tonight because I've got 2 people here who really want to meet you."
Right.
That was quite cool. That was Ian's
cool.
Messaging me to say there's people with him that want to meet me, and I'm like, I've got like 1 million people that want to meet you. So that was quite cool.
So Karen K, weight 3.88, is that Galactic Cruise?
I guess that's Galactic Cruise.
About? Can you clarify that?
So 3.88.
And is that out of 5?
It's all out of 5, but basically anything over 4 is heavy.
Oh, so that's close to heavy, but not heavy. Interesting. Paul, you're fanboying.
I am.
Yeah.
He's just great, is Ian? I mean, it's...
Yeah, Isaac Childers is in the hotel, folks. He's downstairs.
Yeah.
I've been sat with him and talking to him while he's playing the Terra
So when Isaac was teaching people how to play, and Jill was sat next to him, and Jill was reading through the rulebook and kind of joking and everything else.
Yeah.
Jill didn't know that was Isaac Childress.
No, she had no clue. So I go to our table where Jill and our friends are sitting and playing Sweet Mess, and I'm like, Isaac Childress is on that table. And Jill's like, you what? And I'm like, that's Isaac. She's like, he's who?
Yeah.
And she's like, I've just been like giving him a load of...
I know.
Not grief.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
having fun with him and chatting and this, that and the other. He had no idea.
Jill.
We need to tattoo it on his head.
Ich bin Isaac Childress.
Right.
Maybe.
Paul Inco's in the chat. Good evening, Paul.
Hi, Paul.
He said Ian messaged him by accident the other day when he was trying to message me.
Wow.
Yeah, us Pauls have got to stick together.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the games that I've collected today.
What a good idea.
The first one is, as we've just mentioned, Sweet Mess. So this is from the team of Fantasia Games, but this is not Fantasia Games.
There you go.
There you go. It's Pika. But it's basically, Zach, Yoma, and Johnny Pack with artwork by Yoma. And Luke Hector has played this twice over the last few days.
And he's playing it now.
And he's playing it right now.
Downstairs.
He's described it as Splendor, but more involved.
Yes. He used a different phrase, but Splendor but more involved is the PG friendly phrase, I think.
Yeah. He really likes it. This is a copy which is going to be for the GridCon charity raffle.
GridCon charity raffle,
folks. So, thank you very much to the team for donating that one.
It looks really good, by the way.
It does, yeah.
It's really colourful. It's got game trays sort of built in. So
Tanya was saying this is the deluxe version, which is the only one that's available right now.
Okay.
But there will be a
less deluxe
version available at some point in future.
Yeah, having seen it, I would say the deluxe version is worth it.
It does look
chips.
Nice.
The trays are great. Good game.
The next one is the 5 to 6 player expansion to the Warp.
Wow.
This is for me. This is to go with my current copy of the Warp, which is a game that I covered on the channel about 2 months ago, I think. Which is a Space 4X style game, which we played, we really liked, and a lot of Patreon supporters who watched the stream said, will you bring it to GridCon?
Right.
And I said, yeah, I'll absolutely bring it to GridCon.
Okay. And
a lot of people went, right, we need to get a game of this in at GridCon.
Yeah.
And I said, and it's 1 to 4 players. And I said, well, there is an expansion. Ooh. So the designer basically said, yep, we'll give you a copy of the expansion.
Brilliant.
I will be posting this on the GridCon channel on Slack for Patreon supporters, or in fact for anybody who is attending GridCon. I think it'd be great if there was a 6-player game of this played at GridCon. Okay. It is a good game. If there's enough people to get a 6-player game of it, then it's worth it. I mean, if people want to get together and play Twilight Imperium for 8 hours, this will probably take about 5. But yeah, I really like this game.
So challenge accepted. I will. I've never played it before, but I'll set the game up. Okay. And I think Martin's in the channel. Is he there tonight? I think I saw him. Seen him. It might be something he's up for playing. So maybe already we got 2.
The next one is a copy of Spellbook from Space Cowboys. Now I have this game because I helped them with the rulebook. I didn't write the rulebook. I didn't edit the rulebook. But I did what's called rulebook consultancy on this game.
Are you in the credits for the rulebook?
I'm very much down to it.
Oh.
Let's have a look.
Goodness, we're going to find out, folks.
Because I don't feel that I did enough.
No, but you know.
No, edited by Scott Lewis. So Scott Lewis is the editor.
Okay.
The rulebook was probably 95% done. And then it came to me and did rulebook consultancy on it, played it from the rulebook, and then fed back to them a few parts that weren't completely clear, that could have been made clearer. They then feed that back to Scott Lewis.
Yep.
They fix it, and that's it. So my involvement with it was not very much. But, and Vicky might be able to remember this, it was Vicky that did the test game with me.
Wow.
And I can't remember if that's because it was top secret, and I wasn't allowed to do it with anybody else, because we had a tabletop simulator mod for it.
Okay.
And if I had a tabletop simulator mod, I'm thinking, well, why would I drag Vicky into it when she doesn't like playing games that much?
True.
Why didn't I just find somebody else to do it?
Yeah.
And it could have been because secret, and I wasn't allowed to talk about it. So, this is months ago.
So when you had a Slack channel with over 1,000 avid board gamers in there to do these things with, I mean, how much easier would life be?
Yeah, which I do.
Oh, flipping heck.
Yeah, so that's what happened at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Sorry, folks.
Well, we've just had a heart attack. Apologies for anybody listening, but we are right next to the train station. And I'm assuming that's a train.
Yeah, about to depart.
Beeping its horn or something like that.
Wow, that wasn't scripted. That was completely unscripted. So yeah.
Well, that was a bit. So yeah, I can't remember much about it other than we both really liked it. In a few weeks' time, I'm doing a secret rulebook test for a new David Turtsey game that is top secret.
Wow.
That I can't talk about.
No,
which is under my bed.
Oh, all right. There you go. So there's somebody called Victoria Grogan in the channel. Anybody that you know? Victoria Grogan?
No, I don't think so. No.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, cool.
Right. Next one is Shem Phillips came over to me this morning just before my demo shift started.
So sorry, Shem Phillips.
Yes.
Of
Shem Phillips.
Of Shem Phillips.
Yes.
Architects of the West Kingdom.
Yeah. So Shem Phillips was on my list of people who I wanted to go and see because I've spoken to him a number of times. Fantastic games, Garfield Games.
Yeah.
Just as a publisher, they just do everything right.
Yeah, they do the right thing.
They do good games, but they do communication right. They do their Kickstarters right. They do production right. They do everything right.
They just get it right.
They do.
So did you go and see Shem Phillips today?
No.
Right.
He's also one of my patron supporters.
Okay.
So Shem is one of the patron supporters who isn't on the Slack channel, doesn't engage, but he's happy just to support me. So thank you very much, Shem, if you are watching this, for your support. And Shem has said to me, any of my games that you want, even if you can't do any coverage for them, just ask, and it's yes.
Wow. So you didn't go and see Shem Phillips?
I didn't. So I made a list while I was awake at 6 o'clock this morning. I made a list in bed of all the people I wanted to see this weekend who I haven't yet seen. It included Shem Phillips, various other people, Johannes and Sunniver from Board Gaming Ramblings, and there was a big list of people. And then between 9:30 and 10, when I was at the Board and Dice booth, getting ready to start the demo,
setting up
Johannes and Sunniver came over to say hello.
Right.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Cross them off the list. Then Shem Phillips turns up. Thank you very much. Cross him off the list. So I didn't. They came to see me. So I hadn't actually spoken to Shem at all for probably a year.
Okay.
And it makes me feel warm inside that he actually came over.
I think so.
To speak to me.
So let's just recap. Shem Phillips,
Garfield
Games, creator of luminary sort of top-rated games such as
of
Architects
the
of the West
North
Kingdom,
Sea, of the West Kingdom,
Viscounts of the West Kingdom,
all of that stuff.
He came to the Board and Dice booth today to say hello to you.
To say hello and
also
to give me a copy of this. So this is Ezra and Nehemiah. This is going to be their next game, which is going on Kickstarter, I believe, in 2 weeks' time, and it's going to be running for about 3 weeks. I think he said
2 weeks, folks,
or something like that. And I said to him, I said, thank you very much, but I'm not gonna get a chance to be able to cover. He said, it's fine. You don't have to cover it whatsoever. I just want to give you this. I'm gonna guess that he came here with a whole bunch of games and he doesn't want to take them back with him. But he said I was going to give it to you or Branislav from Lithuania. And I said, well, I'm not going to be able to cover it. He said, that's fine. No expectation of any coverage whatsoever. I says, but I've got my own convention coming up soon.
Right.
So I thought, if I take this is a prototype version of the game. It's a good quality prototype, but this is the finished game. The rulebook inside is the finished rulebook. I said, look, I can put it into the GridCon library and people can actually book it out at GridCon and play it.
So hold on, you've got a games convention this year?
In 5 weeks' time?
5 weeks
6 weeks time? About 5 weeks' time.
Wow.
6 weeks. November 17th to 19th.
Amazing.
And this will be the only game in the GridCon library, which is a game which isn't actually available.
That is exciting, folks.
Yeah, it'll be in the library.
Yeah,
I was going to say, Vittel's going to be bringing his new prototypes.
Well, won't we put it in the library, right? He'll be like, or will he?
No, it won't go in the library. And there are going to be other designers there as well. Alan Paul from Surprise Star Games is going to be there. He's going to bring some prototypes as well.
Cool.
I'm trying to think. Mike Nudd is going to be there.
Excellent.
But I spoke to Mike yesterday and I said, look, if you want me to help you advertise some of your new games that you want people to playtest, and he said, actually, I'm doing some under the radar testing at the moment, so he doesn't want it advertised. But he said, I will bring some prototypes with me, and if the opportunity arises, I will get a sneaky playtest in of one of his new games.
That is amazing. So I'm just going to pause there. Joining us in the chat now is the very, very famous Slack supporter of Paul, Sir Agile of John.
Sir Agile of John.
Good evening, Sir Agile of John.
And he's asking, what the hell are you wearing?
Sir?
It's a Mighty Boards t-shirt.
Yes, Mighty Boards t-shirt.
I mean, what's wrong with the Mighty Boards t-shirt?
Nothing at all. So, John, I don't know what you're going on about, mate.
No, we've no idea.
Should we just
Marcus is in the chat saying he'll happily play that at GridCon. Right.
Good.
Marcus, remind me in a week or two's time, because I will try and get you the PDF of the rulebook so you can read it in advance, because that's much easier than reading a rulebook at a convention.
Yeah. So are we saying that Marcus is now responsible for teaching the new Shem
I think
Phillips
so. I think
game at
Marcus
Redcon?
has offered to
He's
spend
off-
3
yeah, it
days
sound like
teaching
he'd
people
offered.
the new Shem Phillips game. I think that's what it's saying.
Nice one, Marcus. Well done, sir.
Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is done.
Wow.
We're just leafing through the rulebook. It is a finished game.
Yeah.
And that doesn't look like a prototype.
No, it looks very finished to me.
Yeah. Anyway.
I love the artwork on all their games. Their artwork is incredible.
So this is Shem Phillips and SJ McDonald. They do a lot of game designs together. They do the whole in the West Kingdom series and all of that lot. But they also do other games that are outside of.
I like Raiders of Scythia. Have you played that one?
I haven't.
No, it looks incredible.
Every game of his I've played, I've enjoyed. There was a couple of bits of Paladins of the West Kingdom that I wasn't too keen on.
No.
I did enjoy Architects of the West Kingdom.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed Viscounts of the West Kingdom. I haven't played any of the other ones.
No, okay. I'm the same. Paladins? Which was the second one?
Second one was the Paladins.
Yeah, I'm not such a big fan of that. Jill loves that a lot. Yeah. Architects is great. And then I don't think I've played Viscounts yet. So,
right.
Yeah, okay. Marcus says happily do that. We'll PM you. There you go. Thanks, Marcus.
So this is Aldebaran Jewel. I've been given this because I'm kind of friends with Vladimir Suhi, and he's got 2 new games this year with Delicious Games, which is Shipyard and Evacuation. But he's also got a 3rd game out this year with another publisher. This is Dino. And Vladimir, we just like to make sure I've got copies of all his games. I'll be honest, I have had a look at the back of this, and I'm thinking, I'm not sure with all of the games that I've got whether this is going to be one for me. So it might go into the raffle. It is called Aldebaran Duel. It is a 1 to 2 player game. So there's obviously a solo version.
So not only are you running a games convention this year in, what did we say, 5 or 6 weeks time, you're also going to have a charity raffle that's going to be chock full of games.
It is. I mean, last year was just unbelievable, the amount of games we had and the calibre and the quality of games that we had. I don't know if we're going to get that this year. I've been trying for the last 3 or 4 months to to contact publishers and get games for the raffle, but I don't know until I've added them all up and listed them how big the raffle's going to be and how many games we're going to have. It
was a big raffle last year.
It was ridiculously
I think
big.
We won three prizes. So
3 lots, which was about 12 games.
We took at least 12 games away with this, which was crazy.
Yeah.
And then somebody won a big game that they gave it to our friend Scott.
Yeah. So whoever won,
was it Cloudspire?
It was Cloudspire.
Yeah.
So we have lots, and one lot was Frosthaven. So lot number 1 was Frosthaven, and that was it.
Isaac Childress is downstairs. He's downstairs in the hotel, folks. Have I said that already?
You have.
Okay.
But other lots were like 3 or 4 games.
Right.
So we tried to sort of, balance them out roughly. But yeah, one of the lots contained Cloudspire and a couple of other things. And whoever won that lot
I think it was Matt.
I think it was Matt.
Matt very kindly just said to our friend
I've
Scott,
already got Cloudspire.
Would like a copy of Cloudspire? Yeah. And Scott, bless him, I think was on the train to get home, and he was like, "This is amazing.
How am I going to get his copy of Cloudspire?"
Cloudspire is like
it's heavy.
Yeah, big, right? Yeah. So great.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Matt, for that.
Hello, James from South Africa. Good evening or morning to you, sir. They're only an hour difference, right? Or 2 in South Africa because you go.
I think so.
Down. So.
Yeah, Mauritius was 3.
Okay.
So
cool.
South Africa was 2.
Vicky, it was Matt C. Yeah.
The last game. No, not the last game.
No, you got.
We'll show this
7,
one next.
Right?
So this is Archaeologic from Ludenoort. Now, on the way here, I had a long journey here in the car with Luke Hector. I also did the live stream just before Essen with Luke, where he talked about this game as a deduction game, and the way he was describing it, I was thinking, oh, that sounds interesting. So I've got one half of my brain going, oh, that sounds interesting. Deduction game. Oh, Vicky might like to play that. Then I've got the other half of my brain going, you haven't got time to play all of the games. Stop thinking about anything new. You're already coming back with 20 new games. You don't need any more. So I decided to skip it. I decided not to go up to Ludenoort, who I don't really know or have any relationship with. And believe it or not, I am still uncomfortable about speaking to publishers and asking for review copies. I actually don't do it that much because I've got so many contacts already. Going up to a publisher who I don't know and doesn't know me and asking for a review copy still makes me feel uncomfortable. I did it once yesterday and it just get So anyway, why have I got a copy of it? This is because it was 6 o'clock, the halls were closed, I was on the way out, I stopped by the Cephalofair Games booth to say to Isaac, yep, we're on for Age of Innovation tonight, I'll see you at the hotel.
Cool.
And Julian, who I actually shared a room with last year, who does demo work with Cephalofair Games, basically said, do you want a copy of this? And I'm like, hang on a minute, why are you giving me a copy of this? And he did tell me why, and I can't remember why. I think he accidentally picked up 2 copies or something like that.
Right.
Now, I'm uncomfortable at receiving gifts from publishers.
Yeah.
Because I might not get the game covered and then I feel bad and everything else.
Yeah, true.
Julian's just a guy.
Yeah, he's
he's giving me a game.
He just works for Cephalofair, right? And does work for them.
Yeah. So we had a discussion and he said that, and I said, well, I can't just take this off you for nothing. He said, your discomfort is payment enough. I'm like, okay.
Okay.
Good.
Cool. Excellent.
But in my mind, I owe him a game.
Okay, some questions from the chat for you.
Yes.
So, Johnny Jambo, which is the most brilliant name ever, and I'd love to see your passport, sir, asks, has demoing Nucleum every day made you want to play it when you get home, or have you had your fill of it having demoed it, 16 times?
12.
12 times.
Yeah. It's wanted me to play it as soon as my demo shift has ended.
It is that good, isn't it?
It's good. It's a very good game. But it's because our first game of Nucleum was like pulling levers, pushing buttons. We don't know what we're doing.
Sure.
By the end of the game, we we know the rules. I now want to play it again because I've got an idea. I kind of know what I need to do now. And then the next time we played it, different objectives came out.
Yep.
And it was like, yeah. And after playing it today, and it was a semi-scripted demo, so it was kind of the same game.
Yep.
But after we've done the semi-scripted part, the players are on their own for about 45 minutes and can start doing what they want.
Yeah, sure.
And I've seen people do all sorts of different things. I definitely want to play it more.
Good.
And yeah, demoing it is kind of just like a bit of a taster session.
Yeah, I agree. James Cartwright asks, Paul, will you be doing unboxing streams of the new Essen games you've got, even if you don't... Now, James is rubbing it in a bit. Even if you don't get a chance to play them.
I did last year. So last year, when I got back from Essen, I took 2 days off work, and I did 2 days where all I did was unboxing videos. And I think I did about 8 or 10 over a period of 2 days. And all I did was just unboxing videos. And it was fun, and I enjoyed it. I do like the live unboxings that I do because I'm interacting with the live audience and chatting.
Sure.
This year, because of my current workload situation, I can't do that. No. There's no way I can do that. And I'd love to.
Yeah.
But I'm going to get back, and I am about 6 or 7 days behind schedule on the work that I needed to have done before I came here.
Yeah.
And
not enough hours in the day.
There's not enough hours in the day.
Okay. One more question, and we'll get back to the games.
Yeah.
James Wood, who has confirmed it's 11 p.m. in South Africa. Thanks for that. What was your favourite part of Spiel?
It's got to be just meeting all the people.
Yeah.
Either people who I have started speaking to in the last 6 to 9 months. You know, like the designer of the Warp. 12 months ago, no idea who he was. He contacted me probably about 6 or 8 months ago and said, I'd love you to cover my game on the channel. I'll speak to the publisher to see if we can get it sponsored and this, that and the other. He did. I did it. I've been chatting to him, got to know him, meeting him for the first time, catching up with people who I haven't seen in 12 months, and catching up with other people who I haven't seen in 2 or 3 years. It's very time consuming because there's a long list of people. Meeting Shem Phillips for the first time, meeting Danny Garcia, the designer of Barcelona for the first time.
Nice.
Meeting Stefan Feld for the 3rd time.
Okay.
But then meeting Isaac for like the
umpteenth time.
And you can't beat that. It's, for me, I know it's a cliche and everybody sort of says this all the time, but meeting the people has been the best part of Spiel, because ultimately almost all of the games that are here are available later. So it's not, I've come here because I get to buy games, I get to play games or anything like that. I can do that anywhere. Whereas the people. That's cool. Definitely.
So James Wood has asked, and I'll answer this one because it is quite a quick answer. Do people get to play the whole game when demoing? So for the Nucleum demo, this is the first time I've experienced this. There's actually a script that Paul follows, and we start the game in round 5.
Starting round 6. Round 5, 1 to 5 has happened.
Right.
So you start in round 6.
Okay, and so a lot of the board is already developed. There are already some tracks on the board, some buildings, And that's really good because it gets you to kind of see the whole game and a lot of the parts that are already set up. And then, no, you don't get to play the whole game because other people are waiting and it's really busy. So you're going to play maybe 3 or 4 turns each. And then,
well, the first 2 turns were scripted,
right?
But then you probably get to do about another 4 or 5 each after that.
Yeah.
And the idea of a demo is to give the player... Just need to get you on camera.
Oh, I disappeared.
Yeah,
sorry.
You just leave it.
Yeah.
We need to get... The idea of the demo is that the people playing the demo need to go away knowing whether it's the kind of game that they like. And after an hour and a half of Nucleum with the scripted start, everybody does that. Everybody goes away knowing whether that is going to be a game that they like or not. And that's the objective of a demo. If you sit there and play the entire game, which will probably take about 4 hours, 4 and a half, for your first 4-player game,
it's not going to go.
You're only going to get 2 in a day.
Yeah.
And it's not fair on the other people that want a chance to do it.
No.
So it isn't the publisher wants to churn through as many people as possible to get many sales. It's an hour and a half with that semi-scripted setup is enough to get that idea of a game.
Yeah,
so,
and also some people don't want to stick around. They want to play a short time and they want to move on. Others want to play for longer.
Yeah.
So there's a comment in the chat from Stacey P. And Stacey P asks, why is Martin Freeman wearing Kayas?
have you ever been compared to Martin Freeman before?
I haven't.
Well,
that's the first. Stacey P, have we met before? I don't know. Are you coming to GridCon? I hope so. We can continue the conversation.
Yeah,
but it's quite a good compliment, right? Martin Freeman,
it is
renowned Hollywood actor.
Yeah.
So thanks, Stacey.
Right, I got one more game to give away.
Ooh.
This is a game which I got told that there weren't any copies for me, and that I would not be coming home with a copy of this game. Because they weren't giving any copies to reviewers apart from Tom Vassell. Tom Vassell got one of these,
right?
But they were not. They've made a decision.
Yep.
And Arcane Wonders have said,
we
are not giving any reviewers any copies of this game whatsoever.
So did Arcane Wonders say why they were giving it to Sir Tom Vassell and nobody else?
Arcane Wonders is managed now by Robert. Robert has done a lot of work with the Dice Tower in the past, and it's Tom Vassell and it's the Dice Tower. So if anybody in the world should get a review copy of the game, it's Tom Vassell or the Dice Tower crew. So I was like, okay, that's a shame because it was on my list. And the game that we're talking about is World Wonders, which is new game from Arcane Wonders.
Amazing.
And there is and they basically said, look, we are absolutely sure that we are going to completely and utterly sell out of the first print of this game, so we don't need to give any reviewers copies. But there's going to be a reprint at some point, early-ish next year, I think, and at that point they'll put me down for a copy. I mean, they were very generous with other games that they've passed on to me, but they said this one, we're not going to have that. So anyway, we're on the way out. And I walked past the booth to say goodbye to Bree, who's the marketing person, Robert, and a couple of other people as well at the Arcane Wonders booth who I know. Robert sees me and starts shouting at people.
Right.
And I'm confused.
Right. Is Robert English?
No, he's American.
So he's shouting in a loud American accent at people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was like, because they were packing the booth down,
right? And everybody hears the shouting and
everybody's listening. And I thought, what's going on?
Wow.
Is there a problem or something? And I'm just me and Luke had just stood there, waiting,
just going.
And clearly there was some problem. Robert was shouting. He said, "Go and get Ryan. Ryan's gone over there. Go get Ryan. This, that, and the other." And then he was on the phone and everything else.
Wow.
So what it was is that they found one copy of World Wonders left at the end of the show in a box somewhere.
Yeah, that happened to me today.
Right.
I found 2 copies of the Art Society.
Right.
Which had sold out.
Right.
2 just hidden on a pallet. Yeah, so it happens, right?
And Ryan had gone off to give this copy to somebody.
Right. But there's somebody that wasn't you.
That wasn't me.
Okay.
And then Robert saw me and went...
And realised his mistake.
Well, no, just went, Paul's it, Paul doesn't have it. And basically was shouting at people to go and get Ryan.
Right.
Couldn't, then phoned Ryan up. Ryan came back with the game.
Right.
And Robert went, this is for you.
So Ryan was putting it into somebody else's hands.
I don't know how far he got.
And then he...
I don't know how
sorry,
far
Paul Grogan's at the stall.
Yeah.
We're off.
So... Thank you very much for that.
So is this gonna be covered on the channel? Do you think? Have you already said that?
Well, there's not going to be a sponsored video for this. So what's going to happen, like the other games that I have brought back with me from Essen, if there's a sponsored video planned, then it'll be in the schedule. Any game that I come back with where there isn't plans for a sponsored video, it will go to a Patreon poll.
Okay.
This will be added to that list.
Okay.
But that Patreon poll also includes Kutna Horror, Evacuation.
Ooh. And something else that you've...
Other hot games from Essen that I've brought back with me that aren't getting sponsored videos.
Sweet Mess, maybe? Maybe not.
White Castle,
good game. Yeah.
Anyway, so
it's up against some stiff
it will
competition.
go. It is up against some stiff competition, but it will be added to the GridCon library. So if you come into GridCon, this will be in the GridCon library, and we're going to put it in the hot games library, which means you actually need to book it out. It won't just be on the shelf. You will need to go to the front desk. You'll need to, book it out for a specific time. At some point over the next few weeks, and I will be asking people on Slack for their feedback on this. We need to decide which of the Essen games are going to enter into the hot games library.
Right.
I've already got some ideas myself.
But are you going to let the gaming rules public decide?
I'm going to let... Mostly. What I'll do is I will start a discussion on the Slack channel and we'll see what people think.
Yeah. And then you will ignore those opinions
and do my own
just
thing.
Make a...
To be honest, I think...
Because that's never happened before.
No. I think there's going to be about an 80% agreement anyway.
Okay.
I think if I say to people on Slack, which games do you think should be in the hot games library at Essen? It's going to be Kutna Horror, Evacuate. It's going to be...
the hot games.
It's going to be those ones.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Interesting. So Paul in Cal, good evening, Paul. He says, I'm interested in Nucleum, or Nucleum, depending on which part of England you come from. But games that require 4 heavy gamers and are best with 4 don't get to the table. Any thoughts?
I don't... Well, yeah, you're absolutely right that games that require 4 heavy gamers that are best with 4 players do not get to the table as often as other games. I'm not saying that Nucleum is best with 4.
No.
I've played it with 3, and that was really good as well. I've not played it with 2.
No.
So it doesn't require 4.
No.
In the way that some other games require 4 players.
I was watching 2 gentlemen play in the bar last night. They were playing as a 2, and they were really enjoying it. And it was moving along quickly.
Yeah, because it uses the other side of the board with 2. So I've not seen that yet.
No, and the advantage of 2 players is you can play a game so much quicker.
Yeah,
you can really rattle through the turns.
Probably.
So maybe don't sort of limit yourself thinking it has to be 4 people, and maybe go for 2.
Yeah,
and because at least you get to play it and experience it.
Yeah. But yeah, it depends on your play group. I'm quite lucky in the way that I have. If I wanted to go home and play a 3-player game of Nucleum or even a 4-player game of Nucleum next week, I would be able to find the players for that.
You would probably have more people interested than you could get to the table. Right? You would get a lot of takers. So that's good. But that's a lucky position to be in.
It is because Dan, who I'm sharing a room with, he's absolutely loving it at the moment because he doesn't get a chance to play these medium to heavy Euros.
Yeah, sure.
His play group is generally the lighter games, or he plays games with his fiance. Yeah. And they're playing things like King Domino and stuff like that.
Right.
So he's here playing the medium heavy Euros and absolutely loving it. And he says, I've got to get as much of this in as I can.
Yeah, because
I don't get to do this much. Whereas I feel fortunate that I've got local players and groups, and that's what we do.
So Jill and I are really lucky. We've got 2 friends who enjoy heavy gaming. We introduced them to Voidfall a few months ago, and we've honestly left it set up on their dining room table. And we're about to, when we get back from Essen and see them again, we're probably going to start playthrough number 4, and they've been loving it.
Right, okay.
So we're very lucky in that respect as well. But I know that not everybody has that sort of. So events like this are really good for meeting other heavy gamers and filling your boots, right? Yeah. Which is what Dan's doing now because he's playing the Terra Mystica.
He's playing in the Age of Innovation with Isaac and Joe and Steve.
Karen K says, Stacey P, I see it too now. So that's 2 people confirming I look like Martin Freeman with cat ears on. Right, so I'll tell you this. I have been demoing for Mighty Boards this week. I have been demoing in the cat ears. And the last 2 groups I got today were a group of teenage kids and then a group of young adults, sort of just post-university. Okay. So there's this English guy, middle-aged English guy, hair is going grey. He's rambling on about this game. He's got cat ears on, and he's making stupid jokes. And they were just like, what is going on here? Right. So there you go.
Good. I think that's it. I think that's the games.
All the games.
I think that is all the games.
That is all the games, folks.
Yeah, we've loaded a load of games into Luke's car. Tomorrow morning at 7:30 in the morning is the big test when we see if I'm going to have games piled onto my knees as we're driving back. Yeah. But I'm thinking hopefully it will be okay.
I'm sure it'll be fine. And I wish you a safe journey home.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're driving, aren't you?
Yeah, we're driving. So we don't. The ferry is. I think it leaves Rotterdam port at 9 p.m.
Oh, so you're got a leisurely drive.
Yeah, leisurely drive.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, it's so we can just sort of drift back. You know, we probably want to be there sort of 3 hours before.
Yeah.
But you can get on the ferry really early and get settled.
And this is the overnight ferry.
The overnight ferry, yeah.
So what time does it arrive?
So it lands in Hull. It lands. It docks. Thank you. It's not got wings. It docks in Hull, sort of around between 8 and 9 a.m. on Tuesday morning.
Right. So it's a 12-hour.
12 hours. So we get to sleep. We've got cabins, and then we'll drive back from Hull. I'll drop Peter off in Cone.
Yeah.
And then head back to Wigan.
And you'll be back home.
I would say midday Tuesday.
Midday Tuesday.
Yeah, to pick the dogs up.
Right.
Yeah. So that'll be Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, that's it for tonight. I've got one more show, which will be tomorrow night, but it will be at a much earlier time.
Wow.
So what happens is that we're going to be driving home tomorrow. I'm probably going to get to Luke's at about maybe even 4 in the afternoon. And my train, I think, is at 8 o'clock in the evening. So at some point tomorrow afternoon, maybe around tea time, which for those non-British people watching is around 5 o'clock in the evening. Me and Luke will be doing the final Essen stream, where we will be hopefully safely back at home with just a overall recap. Obviously, neither of us will have played any games that day. It will just be a thought on the event as a whole. And then I will be arriving back home. Vicky's going to pick me up at the train station in Tiverton at, I think, 11:15.
Thanks, Vicky, in advance.
And I should get home. Should be in bed by about midnight.
She's a good egg, isn't she?
She is. Oh. She's a good egg. I should marry her.
Yeah? What an idea.
let's do that. So yeah, thank you very much as always for watching. And thank you again, Mark, for joining me.
Much. You're very welcome. Nice to be here.
And yeah, we'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
Bye, folks.
See you later.
Bye. Bye.